Hello guys, and welcome to another day with ZIMALETA. In today's video, I'm standing in El Paso, Texas, and I decided to start a new segment by answering your questions that I get on my YouTube Studio app. So every time you guys ask questions on any of my videos, I get them all on my YouTube Studio app. So let's open it up and see what kind of questions I have in here. So basically when I open it up, this is the dashboard that I'm greeted with. So then I go to this little icon here and I could see how many messages that I did get. So basically I'm looking at some random type of stuff here, but I have already looked at all the questions. And what I try to do is I try to take a screenshots of questions that I'm being asked. So here's one of the questions. It is asked by Robert Stewart. How to have your Sprinter set up, bed, power, etc. Thanks. I'm trying to set up my ProMaster. And I wrote to Robert. I said, hey, I'm going to answer in a video because I decided to start this new video series. So Robert, as far as the setup goes, the bed, having extra power, of course, maybe like to power your accessories, and that setup. It seems like you have a pretty simple type of a question. However, this is going to be a little bit different for everybody. Man, I've been doing this already like 13 years now, maybe even 14. It's like, gosh, time flies. I've tried many different setups and I had many different imaginations. How could I actually do like a flip down bed from the top to save in space? Because ultimately you want to have a setup to where you're still going to optimize on the amount of space you're going to have in your Sprinter for the load. Because one of the things that I have noticed is if the more space you have, the more loads that you could actually get. It's sort of like it gives you the ability to load 4 skids instead of 3, or instead of 2 instead of 1. And I've noticed that when I come to places like this, like El Paso, Laredo, Nogales, a lot of times for me to get out is they load me with 4 skids, 3 skids minimum, and I'm always loaded to the back. There's literally no room to sleep. And I'm kind of thinking, man, if I would have had a sleeper back there or something, I would still be sitting here and somebody else would get that load and I would not be able to go to where the load is going. And let's say the load is going to go 1,400 miles away. That is a pretty good little paycheck. And so, you're going to end up making, depending on, what you're going to get out here for between $900, $1,000, whatever you're going to make on a load, plus your expenses. And that is actually a pretty good penny. It's worth it to kind of get them moving and keep going. So over time, I have kind of came up with my own little plan into thinking, hey, I'm gonna do a flip down bed. So what I have done is I basically built a flip down bed, and I'm actually gonna make a little video for you guys with my iPhone, and I'm gonna stick it all in a video so that as I'm talking, you could actually see me see the bed that I'm actually showing in a video. That's also it's a little bit more work for me to do it that way because it means I have to create some B-roll footage, edit later, and in order to do that I have to actually watch the whole video. But anyways, the way I have my bed, it's right on the wall and it takes up very little space, actually not at all. So once it flips down, I could sleep and I fit there fine. I am 5'9". Let me actually get a sip of water. This is actual water, guys. I'm 5'9", so I easily lay on it. So if you're somebody that is very tall, you could do a different, a flip down bed. You could also do one on the wall like I have it, but you could do it the long ways to accommodate your body. I have noticed, at least for me, when I get the load, it's usually a hot shot. I got to get the load down there, straight as soon as possible. And this means I'm not going to be sleeping anyway, so it means that having a bed, even if it's sideways, to fit your body, it's fine because you're not going to need to sleep. However, there's those situations where you get the full load and you get there, to deliver on time, and they tell you could get the load off, and you can't because there's nobody there to unload you. or somebody said something wrong, and you're gonna be stuck. So you're gonna like have like little like no place to sleep, and that is a huge problem because, you know, unless you're short, you know, and you could sleep on these you know, seats here, kind of like going this way, which is not very comfortable, especially when it's winter time. It's not a lot of insulation over here, so it's gonna be like kind of cold. You could do it. I've done it this way. I've seen some taller guys that's, you know, sleep over here on the seats when they have the full load, you know, and that's fine. And you could also have the ability to go to like a hotel. But here's kind of like one of the things I'm noticing, guys, is when you know, you cannot get unloaded. I recommend now going to a truck stop, because what's going on now is like Walmart, they're cracking down on van drivers. They don't want anybody to stand in their parking lots. Trucks, vans, RVs, they don't want nobody. Like when I first started out this, guys, I would go to Walmart, man, there would be pack of cars. There would be people sleeping in their cars and stuff like that, like camping out. And it was kind of like, okay, I mean, Walmart's are pretty safe, you know, parking spaces. But now it's like, they're eliminating all that. And even some truck stops, including Pilot, they don't let anybody to kind of like live in their cars anymore, being in their parking lot. So that's kind of like not good for those people that's trying to like do like van life, because van life, you have to like park somewhere and sleep and get through the night and, you know, whatever. That's unfortunate. But anyways, with the bed situation, whatever you could do to use up the least amount of space, it is the best way to do it, because you want to optimize how many loads you're going to get. Now, I'm getting to that place in my life where I still expedite a lot, but I only do it when I want to. And mostly I'm working on my YouTube videos and stuff like that. I'm making a lot of video, and if I'm not like working, I'm doing something else, like whether it's like editing or whatever. Sure, it doesn't pay a lot of money right now, but eventually it will. So if I don't have a load, it's not that much of a stress to me. I would probably much rather have the comforts of a sleeper, so that I could have a computer set up and, you know, like everything else, to try to like, you know, make my videos to be like a little bit more professional and stuff like that. And that would be kind of good. I could treat it like a writer, or like a, you know, like a creator of some sort. Like you go somewhere, so you could like now like get rid of your like writer's block, and you could basically sit there, relax, and hopefully write a good book. Or for me, it would be like making a good video or having some good ideas. Of course, you guys heard you know, recently, like in one of my videos, that Roku, company that has like a TV streaming service, you know, out of the box for like 50 bucks, they've contacted me through emails, and they want to put my show on their Roku channel. And for the start, they wanted 15 to 20 videos, so I gave them like 25 videos. So they're gonna start a channel for me. They're building it right now as we speak. So that made me look even a step further as to like what I'm doing. I'm thinking, I'm starting to get recognized by, you know, like companies like Roku. I'm thinking, how long will it take before Netflix notices me, and like Hulu, and maybe like Amazon Prime Video, you know, because doing this kind of thing for me, being a video creator, guys, it's actually more important. I'm very artistic and I like to create stuff. This is why I'm like so versatile. And you could see me like one day I'm like doing these videos, and another day I'm like working on my Sprinter, and then I'm working in my house, and then I'm cutting down a tree or whatever. So I'm kind of like a versatile person. I like to have the freedom to do like anything that a man supposed to be able to do. If I need to chop down a tree, I'm going to chop down a tree. You know what I mean? Like if I need to replace an engine, I'm going to do that. So I try to do a lot of do-it-yourself type of stuff. Like, so my channel's like around like DIY, and you know, that's what I try to do. But anyways, and I'm sorry for stretching this out, but I just love talking to you guys. I really appreciate my audience. I just think that, you know, without my audience, I mean, where would I be? Like, I would not be able to create these videos that I really enjoy to, you know, create. I would not be able to do that because there's no audience for it. So, like, this is literally opening up the doors and windows with other opportunities for me, because I have this YouTube channel and I'm making videos every day, as you guys noticed. So, as far as the power goes, and I figured I'll answer this kind of like less, because power is not necessarily going to be something that you're really going to need. And I know when you're saying like power, you might want to power like a refrigerator or like a microwave, or things of that nature, like maybe like a little AC, maybe like a heater and stuff like that. I've noticed guys, they're really prepared and they have all those things. I don't have an AC on top of my roof. I don't have any heating type of system. Now, if you're gonna be going with heater, I recommend going like some kind of like a Webasto system or something similar. There's systems now that's like diesel heaters, cost under $200. Buy one of those, set it up. It uses your own diesel. Just add an extra auxiliary battery. I will be making a video how to add a battery, and I will be making a video how to install one of those things, because I have a Webasto heating unit. It is actually a hydro type of heating unit. It basically warms up the inside through water system, so you plumb it into your radiator. So that might be like an interesting type of setup. So it goes a step further to set it up, but once you set it up in the winter, like you could keep your plumbing, kind of like your water and engine, I guess, warm because of that. And there's a little fan that goes along with it and stuff, and that whole system. I'm also going to be adding a second seat over here, and then I'm going to be installing a computer mount, because like I said, I'm making videos and stuff, and I want to make it comfortable for me so I could sit down, edit some videos. I might be setting up a computer over here, kind of like a laptop stand over here, so that I could sit here, kind of like use this as my seat and edit the videos and do voiceovers on the computer doing this way. When I'm talking about like voiceovers, I bought some professional voiceover gear. It's still in boxes, but you need a computer and some editing software for the sound. So it's a lot of work, but it's the same stuff they use for like musicians and stuff. That's the kind of setup I got. Like nowadays, this technology is getting so much cheaper, and it's a lot easier to deal with that. So now, like another thing is when it comes to, I guess, power, I don't see it necessary to have a refrigerator at all, unless you're cooking on the road. Then yeah, it's going to be, you know, pretty good to have. But the way I see it, guys, this is not a semi truck, and you don't need to have a refrigerator to store your food. Buy what you need at the time when you need it to keep the food fresh. The way I see it, guys, let the store keep that stuff cold for you. It's not like you're gonna have a better deal by buying more. So go in the store and only buy what you need. If you're gonna be frying up some meat and potatoes, buy what you need for that, and that's it. When it comes to cold drinks, I mean, you could just have a regular like ice box and you could have cold drinks. I don't even do that. I have a cooler back here, but I use it for like kind of like storage, you know, for me, like extra storage for my stuff. As far as microwave, guys, not worth it at all. Every single gas station you're gonna go to has a microwave, and you could go there and use it, and they're not gonna tell you anything, like especially truck stops. And like what else? See, these things are just extra expenses you just don't need. And having like a laptop as well, and trying to power it using your, like, I guess like your auxiliary battery, unless you like somebody like me, like I would need like literally a quiet place to do voiceovers. I cannot have any music in the background. I cannot have any people. I literally have to have a quiet space. That's why it's important for me to have my computer and have the auxiliary, you know, connections and stuff for that, so I could do that. Of course, I'll be using a laptop for that. But let's say like I'm just doing like video editing, even I will like go somewhere like a Starbucks, get myself a coffee, sit down with all the other students and everybody else, and plug in, you know, use their Wi-Fi, use the power, sit there with AC nicely, you know, like, and I could just enjoy it and feel like a human being instead of like being like locked up in a van, so that you can have the ability to, you know, do whatever that you're doing. You know, so like that is that. So I don't think it's important to have that auxiliary power source. I mean, it would help you to have like an extra battery, like auxiliary battery, to start up your vehicle in the wintertime especially. And, you know, but most of the devices like this, and even I have like a lot of devices, like I got this headset, I got like GoPros and stuff. Everything uses USB chargers, so I just have like 2 USB outlets, and I'm charging all my devices. So a lot of different cables and stuff. Like I have this little cable set up right here. As you can tell, I'm wearing like a little watch here. This is not a watch. This is a remote for my camera, the GoPro. So I could simply hit the record and it starts recording. But it's got a little short cable like this one here, you see, for it, and I basically zip tied all my cables that I use together. And this is different type of USB ports. Like there's a micro USB, there's a USB type C, and there's a standard type of USB. I don't even know what's it called, but all my GoPros, they use different stuff. And like BOSE headset uses micro USB, like my you know, phone uses you know, like this regular type of like white type of cord. I don't have a bunched up in there because when I plug it in and I have it kind of like out of the way, I don't want it to be like in the way at all. And then I use like this headset right here. This is like a LG, like a premium type of headset. This here uses a micro USB as well to try to get that charge. So I usually use like one headset. Like once dies, I put on the charger, put another one up. Like the beauty thing about this one is 20 hours of battery life, and this has really good sound quality. Like I've done this like unboxing type of video, but I bought this specifically for like driving. It cancels out a lot of, man, I cannot even hear myself. It cancels out like a background noise, guys. And these T1Ns especially, they're kind of noisy. So when I'm making these videos and stuff, they're kind of like a little bit noisy sometimes. And it's been kind of tough to try to find the perfect type of microphone setup. And even now, this is kind of like a little sound test for me because the microphone is being recorded at lower decibels. But I think I'm going to record it at higher decibels so that if the sound is too loud, you could just turn it down. Because I've looked at both of those things, and it seems to me that I like the higher decibels a little bit better because you could always turn the sound down, but at least you could hear everything that I'm saying. And in a way, you can still hear the road noise, but it cancels it out. But even for some of my videos and stuff, I've noticed that I can get rid of the road noise. There's a certain process in the editing that I do to get rid of it, a little bit technical. I'm not going to get into that, but the good thing is I was able to get rid of it for one of those first videos. But the basic recording, like using this mic, if I'm going to be driving, it's going to be making road noise. This is why I prefer to make these videos where I'm like standing to you guys. But more and more, guys, what I want to do is I want to start answering questions, perhaps without all this extra talking and stuff that I'm doing, because this topic of vans and sleepers and beds and power sources, it's a never-ending type of topic. You know, so I want to get like to answering like direct questions. So if you have like technical questions, feel free to ask it like on any of my YouTube videos. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the question, I'm going to answer it. If we could fit like more than one questions and do like each video, then why not? I'm going to do that. But guys, when it comes to all these extras, like I said, like microwaves, TVs, refrigerators, coffee makers, all this stuff is really like unnecessary. Even if you cook your own food, if you're staying busy, there's no time for that. Of course, right now it's a little bit different time. And I'll tell you guys, going back a little bit of time when I was a little bit slower, I had my own propane type of cooking thing, and I would cook my own meals. Because if you're sitting for like 1, 2, and 3 days and you want some meatballs and spaghetti, to go like eat it, like you'll probably spend between 10 and 15 bucks plus tip plus taxes, and you could cook it for like literally like under $5, and you could have like meal for the entire day. So, and that's really simple to do. Like it takes like 5 minutes to do it. So that's the way I would do it, guys. I would just do it myself, and just cook it, and I would have time too, because it really adds up sitting there in the parking lots. It really adds up, guys. Like with money, with food and stuff, it's like, wow, it's like completely like not worth it. But anyways, guys, this video has came to an end. I hope it was kind of like knowledgeable, and it helped you kind of like weigh some things out, you know. Hopefully, you know, I really hope I done a good job. But if I haven't answered some stuff, or if you have like more questions about like expediting and what you need and stuff like that, you know, just write specific questions, and we're gonna go step by step without me like doing like extra talking and stuff. Because as you notice, I really like to talk to you guys, and I like to talk in general, but I really want to answer like all of you guys' questions, because the way I see it, guys, we are all in the same boat. You know, like it's good to learn from each other, different ways of anybody doing stuff. So if you have like your own way of doing it and it's really good or whatever, or you think it's working out for you, just write it down in the comments below, because chances are somebody else is going to read in the comments and going to say, oh, that setup works for me. So why not? But until next time, my name is Serge, and thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Take care of yourself, guys. God bless you. Serge ZIMALETA. I'm 37 years old, and yes, I experienced success after buying my first home for cash. Back in 2011, I was broke, but I learned to solve problems on my own. Now, I'm helping others to solve their problems. I know what pitfalls to avoid to stay profitable in business. Need motivation to be more successful in your life? Do you have Sprint or Expedite or business problems? Then subscribe. Let's find creative solutions to your problems. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of my helpful videos.